fight tonight.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shaza binti Abdul Ghani and my number matric is 2020854928. So I'm here today to talk to you about mental imagery in sports psychology. Me and my group choose football as our reference sport. Our content of video is the definition of mental imagery in sport, coping strategy technique, benefit of coping strategy in helping the athlete to enhance their skill performance, how to apply the selected coping strategy, and the conclusion. First of all, I would like to introduce my group member. The first one is Muhammad Naufal bin Zaharman with number matric 2020841482. The second one is Muhammad Azim bin Azmi with number matric 2020848968. The third one is Muhammad Nur Hafizan bin Rodzi with number matric 2020879506. And the last person is Nur Hafiza binti Yahaya with number matric 2020848272. Mental imagery involves the athlete imagining themselves in an environment performing a specific activity using their sense like sight, hear, feel, and smell. The image should have the athlete performing successfully and feeling satisfied with their performing. Mental imagery can use to familiarize the athlete with a competition site, a race course, a complex play, pattern or routine. Second, it also can motivate the athlete by recalling image of their goals for that session or of a success in a past competition or beating a competitor in the competition. Third, it also can reduce a negative thought by focusing on positive outcome, see the success where the athlete see themselves performing skill correctly and the desired outcome. So when should mental imagery to be used? First, to become proficient in the use of the imagery, you have to use it every day on your way to training, during your training, and after your training. Before you execute any skill of combination of skill in every training session.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hafiza binti Yahya. My matric number is 2020848272. I am from class RSR 1133B. Mental imagery coping strategy. A mental imagery, commonly characterized as a mental picture, it is an experience that most of scenarios replicates the experience of visual sensing on any object, event, or scene. But it was happens while the relevant object, event, or scene are not physically available. Mental imagery also can have the same results as the activity or situation that have been visualized. Different methods and theories are discussed in relation of mental imagery. We focus on the disagreement between prepositional and imagery theories, as well as the efforts made to differentiate between various imagery process and representation. If mental imagery is a scientific term, it should be applied in a way that improves its potential significance. Conceptual relevance in this situation means that we should employ mental imagery in a way that improves our knowledge of how mind processes. In a group of football players, mental imagery improved free kick effectiveness. The impact of achievement was players' self-efficacy and sport competition anxiety will evaluated.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Azim bin Azmi from class RSR 1133B. And in this video, I will talk about the benefit of the coping strategy in helping the athletes to enhance their skill performance. As we all know, mental imagery is called visualization or mental rehearsal by means it is involved in using all of your senses, which is sight, touch, smell, and hearing. In football, players often use the imaginary to observe their future opponents that they never compete against, to put some spirit into the upcoming game, and to create a real life-like event to boost their confidence at carrying out the action on the upcoming match. It is also proven that mental imagery is important to enhance the player's skill performance because football players need to imagine on where the ball would land after a long pass or crossing was given by their teammate. Mental imagery helps players to keep their motivation high and also keep their spirit always on the top. In order to always perform at the highest peak of performance, players need to imagine or had a clear vision of what they would like to achieve their goals. Last but not least is one of the reasons why this coping strategy could help the athletes to enhance their skill performance is most of the athletes sometimes had a low self-confidence for the game. By using mental imaginary technique, athlete could set the scene where they make the imagery as realistic as possible and recreate all the important details such as stadium, crowd, and sound that comes out from the stadium. Athletes would feel like they really experience the real life situations. So by using the scoping strategies, athletes could try to adapt with the situation that they will be facing.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nofal Bajahamans with number metric 2020-841-482. So for my pass, I'm going to explain to you about the duration, intensity, and also the frequency of sprint training. So now let's go to the video. To begin with, I'm going to talk about the duration. The recommended duration for sprint training should not exceed 20 minutes, including the works that have been put and also the recovery periods. It also recommends to use work to rest ratio between 1:3 and 1:8 for a short run at full speed for 30 second sprint. So you will need to rest for 1.5 until 4 minutes for recovery periods. Another great thing about sprint training is you will be able to produce maximum result with minimum time spent on the training. The next one is about intensity. For the intensity, it's recommended to not all out on sprinting. As an example, the common advice in strength training is to leave a rep or two during training to avoid full muscular failure. This also occurs for sprint training as well. You should aim for only 90% of your maximum pace, especially during the first couple of weeks. Sprint of 20 to 30 seconds are recommended by some, however, sprint time is more successful in the 5 to 12 second range. Sprint should be in high intensity with brief bursts of activity. So the last one is, I'm going to continue with the frequency. For beginners in sprinting, you should begin by sprinting once or twice a week and gradually increase the frequency to 3 times a week. On strength training day, some people usually like to do some sprint trainings either right after hitting the weights or later in the day. After several weeks, beginners recommend to begin with 5 sprints once or twice a week and gradually increasing the frequency to 15 sprints 3 times a week. This may not seem like much, but in order to avoid damage, sprinting should be developed carefully. For the last part of this topic, I'm going to share with you about who is the one that should follow this sprint training exercise. If we have a discussion about sprint trainings, obviously first of all we will point out that it is a training that sprint track and field athletes will go through to improve their performance. So now I will share some information on other sport or athletes that is suitable and give benefits to them if they follow the sprint training exercise. First is football player. It doesn't matter if you're a professional player or elite player, sprint training is really good for your performance during the games. Sprinting was obviously related in the game of football, but with strategic education combined with walking and slow jogs. The strategic sprint that I mentioned include of short sprinting, acceleration, and also burst sprinting. To be exact, sprinting requires an athlete to use huge amount of energy, and your body will get used to the circumstances if you carry out sprint training and help to improve your performance for whole 90 minutes in football game without feeling out of breath for the first 10 minutes of playing. The second one is marathon athletes. Speed work component in marathon play a huge part in it, and that's the reason why sprint training was really good for a marathon athlete. Sprint training will help you to get out of your comfort zone because it demands you to run with more speed and also good body form. You cannot expect your body to run differently if you keep on training the same way with same speed all the times. With sprint training, your body will be able to resist fatigue in a large part of marathon, where it will eventually going to hit your performance in last minute before the race ends. And also regarding the breathings, sprint training will help you to improve your VO2 max and assist your body to use oxygen efficiently. The last one is for people who want to use weights and fats. It is unarguably that sprinting was really effective for people who want to lose weight and fats because it helps in burning fats in short amount of time. To make it more great, the effects in burning fat keep on going even after you stop workout because you kickstart your metabolism in your body, which allowed it to burn more calories even after stop working out. Obviously, sprinting was not easy to execute for people with more heavy weights, but with a lot of dedication and motivation, you can achieve your dream by seeing the excellent result that you will get if you keep on trying.